I'd like to ask you if you have been in this position before. I'm sure I have. You are doing your searches on sam.gov or any other procurement website, and then you stumble upon a really good opportunity. You see the title, it piques your interest, and then once you get in here, you scroll down and you find out that it has a long description. And then once you're reading the description, this one is actually not too bad, but once you read the description, you have to read and go through a long list of documents to make sure you understand the opportunity. And as you probably know, if you have to bid on any opportunity, you have to know it in and out. You have to know the details, the requirements, and you have to know it every step of the way to make sure your bid is valid and you're not wasting time writing a bid and missing key requirements. So what I found out that it's best how to best deal with these, understand them on a deeper level, and be able to quickly make bid no bid decisions, or even further learn more about it in a friendly way, was to utilize AI. Now, what today I'm going to show you a platform that I use. It's called SamSearch, but I would like you, whether you use SamSearch or not, in my opinion, it's the best solution. But whether you use it or not, I would ask you to utilize AI because it will make your life much easier breaking down these government contracts. And I'm going to show you an example. So let's take this one and come here. I found this one here. So with each one, you're getting a smart summary so you can quickly understand what is this talking about. So this one is the Department of Health and Human Services is soliciting a proposal for the replacement of air handling units. And then you're getting the magnitude, which is the budget, and it's a firm fixed price award to the lowest price technically acceptable. So you have to provide the best price. As long as it's technically acceptable, you'll be awarded the contract. And then there's a site visit scheduled for March 26th. So just with that, you can quickly make bid no bid decision. Am I able as a company to bid on this and actually win it? Two, is this interesting enough for me? Just with that, when you're doing the searches, actually, let me show you. When you are doing the searches, you can quickly make the bid no bid decision quickly with the AI generated summary here instead of having to read the descriptions and sometimes the attachments to make up your mind. Now, let's say we want to go a step further than just getting a summary. We want to understand the requirements and understand the attachments on a deeper level. In a lot of cases, you are getting a title that makes sense. Others have numbers that don't make any sense. So you can tell this one is wage determination, but we want to get more information, for example, on, I don't know, the construction form or past performances questionnaires. So instead of reading the document, what I'd like to start off with is summarize it to make sure, is this the right document that I want to read more on, or is this the right document that I want to spend my time investigating? And you can do that. For example, this one is statement of work, so you can do that as well, generate a summary for this one. And this way you get detailed summary of what is required. So this one is a summary of past performances form. So it's a form that you have to fill in and a questionnaire. And you see here what kind of information you have to fill in. I would say it's more relevant to do this to summarize the uh, document of something like statement of work. So as you can see, we here get a detailed summary of the document. What's the set aside, the magnitude, the also the technical proposal, price proposal. So you're getting more details about the requirements just from here. So you know, for example, if I want to read more about past performances, the price, or the technical volume 1 or 2, or the price proposal, then this is the place, this is the document that I need to read more on. Now, instead of reading these documents, what I'd like to do first is break down each one of these documents easily. I want to do this with no pain, with not a lot of time wasted and a lot of effort. So, because as a business, I am looking at multiple opportunities. So, I want to maximize the amount of opportunities I look at and investigate compared to the time I spend. So, what I really like about this is the Ask Sam Search AI. So here you will be able to ask it detailed questions about this opportunity. It has context of the description, it has context of all the attachments. So this way you can ask your question and it will be able to respond back to you. So instead of reading a long text of technical jargon, you are talking with AI and asking it to break it down. I have a free cheat sheet. I'll leave a link in the description. You can get it for free. This is how I break down any government contracting solicitation using AI. It's a three-step process. First, I'm doing the initial analysis, then I'm doing evaluation criteria, and then I'm doing the submission preparation. So let's actually do this together. I would like to start first by asking the AI, analyze the government solicitation document provided. this is what I would like to start off with. So we are getting a detailed overview of the solicitation. As you could see, which by the way, in most cases, if you do this in the order I did, you have most of the information from the summary initially and also from the documents summary. So we are getting the title, the posted date, response deadline, the location, contract type, construction, magnitude of construction. This is the budget estimated between 1 and 5 million. The scope of work, which we're going to get back to this and get more information. We're getting also the source for each one of this information, which document it's pulling this information from. The eligibility requirements, you have to be Indian small business economic enterprise. So this is 100% set aside for that. You have to be 51% ownership by one or more Indians. You can ask it questions about to specify anything you want. So for example, here it mentions firm fixed price. Let's say you don't know what that means. You could ask it, what is firm fixed price? So it doesn't have to just answer your questions about the details of the attachments. It could just explain any concept to you. And you can ask it, for example, let's say you want to work with a subcontractor, you could ask it to generate an email. So you could send it because it has context of that specific solicitation. So you could ask, give me an email pitching this contract to a subcontractor, and it will generate you an email. Now, after I get an overview of the opportunity, what I'd like to do is I would like to summarize the key sections, which I think we did. It already did that. The number, type of contract, statement of work, period of performance, and deliverables. I would like to highlight any deadline and site visit information. This is particularly important if you are doing construction. There's always a site visit that you have to be at. So you could ask questions, look at the site, get more details on what you want to bid on. But it's also relevant for other contract opportunities. Obviously, each solicitation is different. It would have different deadlines and dates. So you can see we're getting here site visit and the proposal submission deadline. We're also getting the location where you have to register for attendance. You have to email this officer, I would assume. And then you also, it says that while attending the site visit is not mandatory, it's strongly encouraged to offerers to familiarize themselves with the site condition. So it's highly recommended that you actually make the visit. Now, once we got that information of the deadlines and the dates and the site visits, I would like to break down the evaluation criteria and the terms and conditions for the solicitation from the document. So here's what I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna say break it down. Obviously, this is a conversation, so it's not a one-way street conversation. What I mean by that is you ask a question, it responds back. Don't just take that answer, ask it more details, dwell more on it. So, for example, it's talking here about factor one and factor two, factor three. You need to ask more questions. If it says past performance, ask for more details. But here I'm trying to show you an overview of how you should break it down, just to highlight. So, we're getting here the evaluation criteria, and it broke it down into 5 different factors. One, you have to have specialized experience, technical approach, past performances. You have to be, as I said, part of the Indian economic enterprise. Set aside the price, which, as we saw, is a fixed firm price. So the lowest bid, according to if it's acceptable technically, will probably get the contract. Now we broke it down. You could ask more questions, as I mentioned, about each one of these factors. But to save you some time, I would say you could ask, explain how proposals are judged and list the necessary representation and certifications required to submit a proposal. So we know that you have to be an Indian set aside business, but this is just an overview to cover all cases. I'd like to ask any specific pricing structure and terms of payment mentioned. This is sometimes mentioned, so it's important to see if there are specific pricing structure or payment instructions that are mentioned. So we're getting information that it's a lump sum pricing. So the price, let's just wait for it to be done. So lump sum payment, what that means is that it will involve a single lump sum price for the contract. So you're getting under a firm fixed price arrangement. It will cover all labor cost, equipment, material, and associated expenses. Now there's a schedule, allowable overhead and profit. So they're looking at a profit. Overhead for work performed with the contractor on force can be up to 10%. For a work performed by subcontractor, you're looking at overhead of 5%. So profit range from 1 to 10%. So they're given really detailed instructions about the profit. Now, key thing is if you had to read and pull that information from these documents yourself, it will take you a lot of time. This way, you let AI do it for you. I highly advise you, if you're serious about government contracting, to utilize AI to its fullest potential, because your competition, I can guarantee you, they are doing this. So, you're getting more information about the payment. I would like to end this by showing you a how I do my step three, which is I understand the requirements. I know the job I'm supposed to do, how I place my bids, the requirements, what I'm going to be judged on, the factors, as we saw, the price, the past performances, and so on. Now I want to submit a bid. It's very important that you adhere to the requirements of submission. So if you submit, if a lot of them, they would disqualify you if you submit in the wrong text, or if you submit, let's say, by mail when they ask you to submit by email. So it's very important to know these details. And sometimes they are in a small section in one of the documents. So AI allows you to be careful and make sure you're getting the information you want. So I would like to ask, explain the format and method required for submitting the proposal, including any electronic submission guidelines. Let's just do that. So as you can see, proposals must be submitted in a PDF format. You have to be very careful about these submission requirements. A lot of contracting officers are very serious about them. So it's not worth it putting all the effort, going to the site visit, writing a bid, all of that, and just to miss a contract on a, to be honest with you, a small technical detail that's just stupid. So just get your T's crossed and make sure you are adhering to these recommendations. So you have the proposal structure as well. You have to have these factors. Volume 1 is technical proposal. Volume 2 is price proposal. You have to submit to this specific email. You should ensure that the submission does not exceed the deadline. And then you have here additional guidelines. So after this, I'm very confident that I understand a lot of the key details about this. I'm confident that I know the requirements. I'm confident that I know what do I have to submit. I'm confident I know the factors that I'm going to be judged on. I'm confident that I know how it's going to be judged. I know I have to provide a really competitive price so I can win this. I know I can allow myself a 1 to 10% profit range. All of this detail would have taken me a long time to get through if I had to read all of these attachments. And I can show you some of these attachments, just like one of them maybe, if we can download this. And as you can see here, we're looking at 56 pages. Right. So 56 pages with a long 56 pages. That's just too much. Obviously, I would highly recommend that if you're serious about this, you end up reading a lot of this. But what I'm saying is use AI to your advantage and make sure it's reading documents for you. You could have a ongoing conversation, ask all the details you want, and let it extract this information from you, because 56 pages and that's just one document out of 10. Anyways, I hope this was helpful. Make sure to use AI if you are in the government contracting space, because I can assure you, as I said, your competition is doing that. You can try SAM Search for yourself. You can search on federal, state, and grants across all levels. And as I showed you, you can break down government contracts and write proposals as well. Give it a try and elevate your government contracting game. I'll leave a link in the first comment. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.